Hey, how are you guys? You can't answer me. I'm good. I'll answer for myself. We're gonna talk about back pain today. During my first pregnancy, back pain was my number one complaint. It came up one day. It was excruciating. I felt like there was no relief. Stretching would kind of help for a little bit, but riding in the car and sleeping in particular were awful. And it continued through my labor. It continued after my child was born. I really had no idea. I didn't know that there was more I could do. And I was exercising, and I thought that was enough. That's kind of what I read most about. Like, oh, you just need to work out that area more. Well, I did, and it didn't do anything for me. So this pregnancy, I didn't fuck around at all. From the beginning, that was like my number one research was back pain. I am not gonna have back pain this time. The day I found out I was pregnant, I started looking into everything I could do. First thing, definitely exercising. A lot of it is either you're lacking core strength, which is up front. I'm not just talking about like, yeah, you need to have six-pack abs during your pregnancy. No, you don't. Core strength is what's supporting your full body. And around your uterus. It's going to help keep your baby in more and more close to you instead of having your belly expand. And then also your back strength, because your back needs to be strong enough to support your growing belly. So if you've ever looked at like Instagram models who are pregnant and their bellies look really small, and you're like, oh my God, how are you doing that? Your baby, and then you see their babies come out and they're like 8 pounds. There's enough room inside your uterus. Remember, your uterus pushes stuff up and down and backwards to make room for your baby to be inside of you. But if you don't have strong enough muscles to keep the baby back there, it's gonna go forward, and that's gonna put more strain on your back. So there's a ton of safe core exercises that you can do to keep those muscles strong, and it will prevent back pain. And this is actually true if you have back pain anytime in your life, whether you're pregnant or not. A lot of times it's because your core muscles aren't strong enough. The back and the core, the front, support one another. You really can't even have a strong back without a strong core. You can't have a strong core without a strong back. They all work together. So now with your back strength, you don't need to do a whole lot. There's really gentle exercises, and a lot of it is posture and how you carry yourself, making sure that you're not hunched over, you're sitting up straight. One thing that I did this time was get a stability ball. I didn't realize how bad it is for you to sit on the couch or to lean back, or like when you're sitting in bed to kind of just be like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this movie. It's horrible for you. And it also, if you're pregnant, it's going to prevent your baby from staying in the proper position. So if you're sitting on a stability ball, or at least a hard chair instead of a soft chair, it's going to keep you upright. It's going to apply pressure. You're not going to sink into it, and you're not going to be able to lean back. So it's going to keep your baby in the right position, and it's going to keep you in proper posture. And your core is engaged if you're sitting on a hard chair, or preferably a stability ball. If you work in an office and you're comfortable doing this, definitely, a lot of bosses are okay now with pregnant women bringing in a stability ball to sit on at work. If not, at the very least, ask for a hard chair. You may feel like you're uncomfortable, but the back pain is more uncomfortable than your butt being sore from sitting, in my opinion. And then the car rides, or like sitting in a movie theater, those were rough for me and during pregnancy, the first pregnancy in particular, because my back already hurt. Something you can do for that is a rice sock. I did have a heating pad during my last pregnancy that plugged into the car, and it did a little bit, but then I tried a rice sock, and that was like magic. What's different with the rice sock, you heat it up, and it's like a whole bag of rice goes in there. You can either buy one or you can make one. It's literally like rice poured into a sock, and then you heat it up in the microwave. But you can buy nicer ones online. You'll just be paying $20 versus 99 cents for the bag of rice. but because they're heavy, it's like they have 3 pounds of rice in them, and they're heavy and they're textured. And so putting it on your back, whether you're at home and you're laying down on it, or if you're in the car or in a chair and you can kind of put that pressure on it, it feels so good with the heat and the texture and the weight. It's amazing. It will really help relieve that pain in the back. So you need to be conscious of your posture all the time, how you're sitting, how you're standing, shoulders back. Try to visualize your like keeping your baby in instead of letting your baby just explode out. You want your baby close to you. You want your baby in. So just like kind of be conscious of engaging your core, how your posture is, and keep your baby close to you. Keep your baby in. It'll be better for your back and better for you. And especially as your uterus and your baby grow and become heavier, there will be less strain on your back. Posture is also important when you sleep. When during the beginning, it's fine to sleep on your back. If you're still sleeping on your back, that's fine. I would try propping your feet up a little bit because that'll keep your spine in a neutral position. If you're sleeping on your side, then you want to have a pillow in between your knees. When your knees are like flopped over, your spine is also in a funky position, and you can either wake up with back pain or throughout the next day have back pain. So a pillow between the knees. This time I actually got a pregnancy pillow right away. I didn't mess around at all. I got one of the big U-shaped ones, and for a couple reasons. Once I got to the point where I need to be sleeping only on my side, I'm typically a back sleeper. So having half the pillow in the back on one side of me would keep me from rolling on my back, and also offers a little bit of back support, not a ton, but then it's also long enough to put in between my knees, and it won't slip out because it's connected. It's all one piece. It's all connected. So that what I'm sleeping on my head is the same piece that's going to go all the way down and put in between my knees. And that helps a lot, just being in that position. And that helps with lower back pain and middle back pain as well, depending on what you have. Also, stress. If you're just stressed out, that tension you might be carrying a little heavier with pregnancy. It might show up a little bit more. So whatever you like to do to manage stress, be conscious of it. That's going to be different for everyone. Lack of movement is pretty big. If you are sitting all day, try to get up from your desk a little bit and just do really little stretches. I know it's hard when you're at work, and depending on your job, that's going to be different for everyone. If you have an active job, just try to be conscious of, if you're doing like the same motion over and over, try to be a little more conscious of that. You are pregnant and you do need to be taking care of yourself, even if you're not necessarily putting your child in danger. If you are not, if you're harming yourself physically, and I know back pain isn't like an injury, it's just a discomfort, but it can be big, and it can be the difference between a good pregnancy and a bad pregnancy. So doing a repeated motion, if that's your job, try to take a minute to just like readjust and stretch and reset your spine. I like to, before bed and when I get up in the morning, take like 2 or 3 minutes, literally, that's all I take, to stretch my back and to move around a little bit, and just to kind of feel my spine and work out any little kinks, neck, spine, middle back, lower back, all of it. Just move, just do a little bit of movement. The more the better. If you have time to go to a yoga class every day, do that. Your back will probably feel amazing, but most of us don't. A little bit goes a really long way. Movement is huge. You can also try, if you're having a lot of pain, I've talked about magnesium before. It helps relax your muscles, so you can do magnesium topically. Get a lotion or an oil, or if you enjoy baths, you could take a bath with magnesium powder dissolved into it, and your skin will absorb that and it will help you relax really well. Helps a little bit with pain. Another safe one is arnica oil. Applied topically is usually fine during pregnancy. You want to avoid like the Icy Hot and the Bengay because those have you can absorb, they have chemicals you can absorb that are not great for your unborn baby, but definitely discuss those with your doctor. There also might be issues with inflammation. We're more likely to develop inflammation or have it aggravated during pregnancy. Don't take ibuprofen. You know you can't do that, and it's not good for you anyways, pregnant or not. What you can do is identify any foods that you're eating that are going to cause inflammation, in particular dairy and processed foods, artificial sugars. Those are big ones. Avoiding those and drinking more water, and then adding in some anti-inflammatory foods like apple cider vinegar, turmeric. They make turmeric and apple cider vinegar now in supplements, so you can just take the pill. You don't have to consume them, like you don't have to eat them. Ginger is another good one. Lemon, water with lemon is good. Definitely more water in general would be good. So try those things: posture, awake and sleep, stress, movement, and the inflammation. And hopefully that will help you have a less painful pregnancy. All right, knowledge bitches. Bye.